Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Saul, the creator of the Summoners Nexus TCG, a digital indie trading card game that will hopefully be in your hands very soon. In the lead up to its release, because we've been working on it for such a long time, I decided to start sharing some lore, some information, and some card design details, which is what this video is. I'd like to take you through the subset that you see on that side of the screen, right over there. This is the Swamp Dweller subset, one of the minor subsets in my indie trading card game, which you should subscribe to find out more like development news on, and also join our Discord down below so you can link up with other players in the community and so on and so forth. Now, the Swamp Dwellers are another minor subset, which means that they are small and there are only a few of them. Now, there's this thing in my game called a synergy system, which is sort of the specifications for which cards can go with which cards in what decks, and long story short, the higher the number, the less cards can be mixed in. So minor subsets are decks that just have very low synergy ratings so that they can be mixed in with other things and give players more deck building variety options. That being said, I have very little to tell you about this deck because I made the game, I designed the cards. I don't like them, and that's not because I think that they're bad. I just they don't jive with my playstyle. Like, I'm making a game that I would want to play, yes, but I have also had to recognize the fact that I need people to play against. So I've had to make cards that you guys will want to play too. And there are people out there that enjoy playstyles that are different to how I normally play games. So these guys, they're like I don't even know what to call them. The whole concept behind this subset is that they treat the field as a swamp, and they're ogres, so they want to stay in the swamp. And so their whole thing is sticking power and board presence, where if one of them is about to be destroyed, you can effectively tag it out to the graveyard and summon a different one from the hand or the graveyard, depending on which one it is. And so they're supposed to be really, really tricky to try and keep still. And then the main idea is you go out of your way to try and summon the main one, this one, onto the field to use his effects to have some sort of effect on the game before you do any more tagging out or moving around. At least that was the initial idea behind it. In practice though, that is busted because there's a summoning cost that you have to pay to summon cards in this game, right? It costs 50 life points. It used to cost nothing, but it costs 50 life points to summon a rank 1. It costs 100 to summon a rank 2 and 200 to summon a rank 3, right? Now, what this deck used to do was you could summon the rank 1 and then just cheat out the rank 2 and the rank 3 for free using the effects, and that gave you so much advantage on your opponent. So what I ended up having to do was, 1, put a life point cost on the effect, which is still cheaper than summoning them normally, but at least it's something, and 2, restricting how many times they can use their effects, because literally every single turn you can just cycle this guy on and off the field and just keep on doing things to your opponent that just messed up their strategy, and there is no way that you can keep up resource-wise with a deck that can just cycle itself infinitely through the graveyard. So I had to limit the main way that they're able to do that. Now, as a result of this, their playstyle actually changed because they were more, I would say, almost beatdown focused / effect disruption focused, and now they are just they're just a combo effectively, right? It's just a way to get more resources out faster. This is one of the decks that I would say is quote-unquote solved, which is, we did a lot of testing and we found some of the best ways to play certain decks, and there's definitely things that we missed, but with a deck like this, it's so... Once we realized the best way to play it, there was almost no not seeing it. So basically what you do with this deck is on turn 1, you summon the rank 1 and you have the rank 2 in your hand while keeping the rank 3 in your resource deck. That means you've got 3 other cards in your hand to use, mind you. So you summon this card onto the field, and then you use a card called Card Exchange, which allows you to discard a card from your hand to draw 1 card. You discard him, draw a card, boom, you've got more resources, and then you summon him from the graveyard, and one of his effects allows you to pull the rank 3 out from your deck. And so just like that, you have gone way past your opponent in terms of your overall resources, and then on the next turn you can summon him onto the field for a lot cheaper than you would normally. So you just put yourself 2 cards ahead of your opponent with a single play, which you did give some things up, but realistically speaking, it's just good advantage. And so that's what I mean. It aims to sort of beat your opponent by way of out resourcing them rather than necessarily out strategizing them, which isn't bad. I just rarely find myself playing it, right? Like, I have been testing this game for months, and it is very, very rare for me to actively go out of my way and say, hey, let me build a Swamp Dweller deck or something that uses the Swamp Dwellers actively to pull off that combo. Like, I would rather give those slots to cards that punch people. I like, that's me. That's what I do. I don't want to do all of that thinking like, oh yeah, if I use my resources to get to this turn and then this, and then I'll outreach. Like, no, I just want to hit you. So this is for the combo people out there. You have a little bit of that in this, if you can call it that, I suppose. And yeah, that is the main thing with this deck. Everything was balanced around the fact that they need to keep on reviving from the graveyard, which is why their stats are all reflective of that. Their stats all got nerfed across the board, and they rely a lot more on their effects. Well, his effects, actually. So yeah. Now the thing about Balrog is, despite everything I've said, he is one of my favorite cards in the game, because I mean this design wise, like card art design wise, because if you may have noticed, all of the rank 3s in the game escape their borders in some way that like other cards in the game don't necessarily do. These guys stay inside of the card border, whereas the rank 3s come out of it actively. And you may think, oh, that's just like a cool design choice. No, it's because I had the borders for the cards made, and then I realized, oh no, the rank 3 border, since it shows all of their effects, makes it so that you can't actually see the card art properly. How do we fix this? Well, let's just have the rank 3s come out of the cards. And so that's how that happened. The problem was, I came to this decision after all of the cards had already been designed, so I was able to sort of cheat out most of the rank 3s in ways that were like meaningful, but they weren't designed art-wise with that in mind. And so we were sort of playing catch up in terms of trying to make sure that everything like had a way to come out meaningfully. And with Balrog, unfortunately, his helmet spikes came out, but nothing else in a way that made sense. And so I made the decision to compromise like the visuals of the card art, like the practicality. You can't see the names of his effects. Like with every other card, you can read their effects, but with his, you can't, because he's smashing them, and it just looks so cool. And I mean, it's a digital game, so you can just tap them to see what they say. So I don't think it's too bad. But like, yeah, I did think to myself like, okay, am I making the right decision by having him do this? But I just loved the way that it looked once I tried it. So yeah, that's why he looks the way he does. And yeah, that is everything with the Swamp Dweller subset that I can think of. In truth, I do these videos off the top of my head and just remembering like what went into them and like the thoughts that I was having around the time of making them. And the truth is, with this deck, I didn't have a lot of thoughts around the time I was making them. I think I may have used a random ogre name generator even to come up with like their individual names, not their roles and not their lore, but their names. Yeah, this it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to get more information on the game. Join our Discord link down below to link up with the community, and you know, just say hi and leave a like, because it helps the video out and makes me happy. All right, have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.